of that is him being a good guy, and how much of that is him saying this would be the right thing to say in this situation, which isn't necessarily anything wrong with, but it's different than somebody just pouring their heart out.
Right. And I thought today he really kind of poured his heart out a little bit and really kind of was more forthcoming than I've ever heard him be. And he was talking, of course, about minicamp and OTAs and feeling like it's been a successful 9 weeks and that he's excited about the season ahead and everything that's happening. He also talked about, of course, getting Kyle Rudolph back and how important he felt that was for the team. And so I thought it was really an interesting segment, and also caught part of Kevin Stefanski's press conference today, and he was talking about play action and what an important part of their system it's going to be. But you got to be able to sell play action, and so you got to be able to run the ball effectively, and that's why there's a great emphasis on that. But he wants to be able to have play action be a very integral part of this offense, and Cousins also talked about play action too. And you watch Dalvin Cook out there in practice. Wow, he is so explosive, and if he can just stay healthy is of course the key for him. And so I've seen really good things out of Alexander Mattison too, and Boone and Thomas. They've got some backs with some ability, and so I think that all bodes well if the offensive line holds up, and that's got to be obviously the key to everything. And so we will see how it all shakes out.
The obvious thing is to say, okay, they made Rudolph a priority. They brought him back. They made Irv Smith a priority by drafting him high. They don't have a proven third receiver, and they have Kubiak, Stefanski, Dennison, and Zimmer, who like power running and kind of forcing a will on another team and then being able to pass the ball after establishing the run. Is it oversimplifying to say we're just going to see a lot of two tight end formations this year?
I think there's a good chance that that's going to be the situation if you look at who are your most talented people. However, having said that, I see Chad Beebe out there, and the guy is just always open. He's just got great moves and quickness, and so I think he is still going to be a big part of it too. I think they want to be versatile. They don't want to be predictable, and so I think you're going to see lots of different personnel groups out of them, and I think Beebe is a big part of that. As we mentioned, also Jordan Taylor is a guy that they like, and so, but Beebe to me is going to be a guy who's going to make a lot of plays out of the slot, or if he moves outside and they put Thielen in the slot, they got a lot of options that they can use, and if you, in the final analysis, when you look at the skill position people on this team, to me, it's really one of the best groups in the NFL, and including Dalvin Cook in that mix, that if he's healthy and right. And so I think that's obviously advantageous to Kirk Cousins as he tries to, again, as he said, take it to the next level.
Jordan Taylor has gotten some attention for his play this offseason, but is he hampered by the fact that he's probably a true outside receiver and they already have two really good ones of those?
Yeah, I think so, but who knows what they're going to do with him, if they're going to end up moving him a little bit inside too. And as we said, we've seen Thielen go inside, and Diggs is certainly capable of doing it too. I think they just want to have a lot of different looks that they're going to have out there, and so time will tell. And once we get to the opener against the Falcons on September 8th, then we'll have a better picture of it all, because you're just not going to see a lot in the preseason games, of course, and even in training camp, there'll be a little bit better picture of what's going to happen.
And I always feel like the two kinds of players who can be really overrated during the summer or even in training camp are backup quarterbacks and backup receivers. Because until you see them under real pressure and under physical threat, they can look really good.
Yeah, they can, definitely. And yeah, you got to see them with a pass rush in their face. You got to see them with lockdown corners on them, and then trying to catch the ball in tight spaces, and the kind of things that we've seen from Thielen and Diggs the last several years. And you think back to the catch that Thielen made, for example, late in the Green Bay game in Green Bay, when it looked like how does he make that catch? How does that ball get through the defenders, and how can he track it like that? Well, that's a special player that can do that. And so are these other guys capable of making those kind of plays? We shall see.
Thanks to whitebearlakesuperstore.com. Do you have a final thought for us, Jeff? I know there's so much that happens at a minicamp, and yet there's so little of it that seems really important. So I'll just throw it open to you, whether it's a league issue or something with the Vikings. Do you have a final thought for us?
Yeah, well, I think just the fact that the Rudolph extension is done, I think that's a good thing for this team. There was so much conversation about it for so long, and I talked to Kyle after practice, and you can see that he's relieved too that it's over with, and he doesn't have to talk about it every day and get asked about it every day, and neither does Zimmer and neither does Spielman. And so I think that's a positive for the team that's done. But as I said, their work is not done yet with the cap. They are still going to need to free up some money in the final analysis, and so we'll see how that all develops.
Good stuff from Jeff. Thanks to whitebearlakesuperstore.com. Again, next week we're going to talk about Steve Jordan going into the Ring of Honor and just how much the NFL has changed since Jeff came on the scene.